To some announcement. Now, the first announcement I'm going to talk about, and we can go back and forth if you want to, but the first one I'm going to talk about is Divinity.
I'm sorry, you said what?
Divinity.
Oh my God. Okay.
Listen, I can't even get the name out.
You went right for the big one. Okay, yes, I see you.
I couldn't even get the name out just because I still see the trailer playing in my head. And I was watching, I was like, okay, it's a little weird, it's a little graphics, a festival, some sacrificing going on. But then I was like, yo, did I just see two people fucking? And then it panned back to them, and I was like, yo, they fucking? Or is that a dance? And I really had to catch myself. I was like, they ain't gonna have no people fucking at the award show. And then they really panned into them. I was like, oh, this is a porno. Mm-hmm. So yes, that is my coming out the gate announcement. Listen, it looks good. It looks like a hell of a game. But my cousin did make a good point, and I'm going to tone down my excitement and even my shock value from the trailer. Listen, it was just a trailer. There was no gameplay. We'll have to see, because they didn't even put no type of date, no type of year from what I see. And so no telling how far away this game is actually releasing. But I gotta say, they got me intrigued. Got me very much intrigued. How did you feel about this announcement?
So when I saw it, I don't know, I saw it and I was looking like, yo, what is this? At first I'm looking like, oh, man, it'll be great if this was Fable. And I was like, too high production costs. I'm looking at it, I was like, this is a fantasy RPG. Through and through. The guy throwing up and the pigs eating it. The little dude with his piece of meat. I'm like, okay, and the guy chained up. I'm like, yo, what is this? And when they set that thing on fire, I was like, oh, this is graphic. But when they showed that woman grinding, I was like, hey, wait, what was that? Did I see? I was like, no, you didn't see what you said. And they went back in the mode. I'm like, oh, I was like, yo, they can show this? And I'm like, hey, this ain't on cable TV. This is being streamed live. So I guess the stipulations are different. But when they showed Divinity, I got excited because I automatically knew this is, and I already know Larian delivers. They are very pro-consumer. The only two things I have to say is it was just a cinematic trailer. There was no gameplay of any sorts. Before they started making the Divinity Original Sin series, their older Divinity games I have not played, so I do not know if those are freeform combat or turn-based or however they, that. And I just really, really hope, please don't let it be turn-based. Please don't let it be turn-based. Let it be free-form combat in some type of way. But then there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I also was very happy because I'm like, hey, I know this ain't about to be a Souls-like S game. Thank God. And hopefully it ain't an open world game. But I was excited because as Baldur's Gate 3 shows and their other games, they are all about, this is also another part to look into it. Due to the success of Baldur's Gate 3, will they need to do early access like how they did with the Divinity Divinity Sin games and Baldur's Gate 3? I believe Baldur's Gate 3, you know what? I'm just going to say BG3 because that's a mouthful as well. BG3, I know, was early access, the first act for Steam for a while, as they got the rest of the game together and they got community feedback to make it how the consumer wanted. Hopefully, due to all the success of that, they got the money to just make this and put it out. Because, baby, if the game is 10% of that trailer, 10%, I'm sold. So that orc getting drunk and that woman grinding, I'm like, yo, I need to see this. And it really made me miss Fable, cause
no, okay, yeah. I gotta be honest, when I saw the beginnings and how it was set and all that, I was like, oh, is this Fable? Is this the new Fable?
Yes. I really got excited, like, oh shit.
Not Fable.
No.
Yeah, but that's my initial one coming out the gate. What you got? What was a good announcement to you?
My next wasn't really an announcement. They showed it off, and it was Pragmata. It was the third-person sci-fi game from Capcom. You know me, and audience, you know me as well. Infamous is a sucker for third-person shit. And what got me originally when they announced this, and then thank God they showed it again, it gave it a release date. Because every time they talked about it, they never gave a release date. It comes out in April, but it's something new. Capcom is on a long high right now with remakes of their greatest hits. And of course, Monster Hunter, but that's a video for that's topic for another video. But to see them still saying, hey, not only are we gonna give you revamped classics of our old catalog, they're still trying to give you something. They won't show off a whole lot. They show off combat. They've explained how intricacies between the whatever the hell that dude is and that android little girl. Hey, I'm all for it, but it looks so good, so good. And it ain't made by with Unreal Engine 5. It's made with their RE5 engine. I mean RE engine. I'm sorry, the Resident Evil engine. So I'm for that. I'm for that. That's what was selling me, and I was like, thank God. April ain't too far away. 4 months. Before I know it, 4 months will be here, and we'll be talking about this.
Yeah, that was cool, but honestly, what they opened the show with as far as announcements from the main show that caught my eye was, I'm just going to be honest, the only reason why this caught my eye is the person that is in charge of the project, and that is Star Wars Faith of the Old Republic. And if you don't know, this is being ran by Katie Hudson, who is responsible for Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and he even oversaw the Legendary Edition. He also was a project director for Star Wars Knight of the Old Republic, so he is familiar with the product of Star Wars. And he also was an executive producer for Dragon Age Origins. So he has such a high, resume, and he's very much regarded with a lot of respect in the gaming community. And once they kind of introduced the title and his name associated, so that just proves how much they are trying to make sure this Star Wars game will be good.
Succeed.
Yeah, they doing everything in their power to make sure they set it up for success. But this was announced, a little trailer. I don't know, I think it was cinematic, or if that was real in-game engine. Okay, yeah, because I was about to say that shit looked too good. The rain on her eyebrows and all that. I was like, what the fuck? But, I am intrigued. I haven't played a Star Wars game in a while. So hopefully maybe Casey can do it right. He brings some of those same elements in storytelling from his Mass Effect days. Maybe he can turn the tide in the reputation of a Star Wars game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. There was no date associated with the title. So we're probably still 2 years, 3 years out. But something I was excited about seeing.
Yeah, I agree with you. With the Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, same thing as last. It was trailer only, no gameplay, so I won't get super hyped. I am a fan of Katie Hudson's work. My only issue or gripe is these trailer-only-esque announcements, they tend to be 2-3 years away, and to me, it's like, yo, why show this? I'm not talking about it now. In the business aspect, you can say, oh, well, we'd rather show it on our own time than it get leaked and get ruined, which I don't know if any of you all know or pay attention to gaming news. Yo, the day of and leading up to, shit was getting leaked ridiculously. Almost to the point of, hey, what's the point of watching the show when so much shit got leaked? But I am looking forward to that as well. Now, one next game I'm going to talk about that caught my attention. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Even though it's a first-person shooter, I love me some zombies. And it's co-op, but that makes it even better. But I love me some good old-fashioned zombie killing. That's my comfort game. Just turn your brain off and just get some zombies. Have some fun. That's all you got to do. Did you see that game?
Yeah, and while you was talking, it seemed like I didn't realize. Listen, limited capacity of how many zombie games I can play in a year. My cousin does not share that, but I have a limit because it's just bro, it's the same shit. What are you all like? You gotta really offer me something to really get my juices going. And so while I was watching the game show, it just seemed like there is a lot of money getting poured into the genre of zombie games, and I was just like, man, I thought the industry was kind of trying to run away, but now they're coming back. And we've seen some zombie games being announced outside of the show. The Xbox show that was just happening and some other stuff. And I'm like, there's still a lot of money being dedicated to zombie games. To be honest, some of them do look very, very well, and it makes me raise an eyebrow. And some of them, I'm just like, I'm not playing that by myself, so I'm never gonna play that game because I don't know. Because you kind of get into that horror. If this is a zombie game, so some horror-esque games, they only want you to have that single player experience, and where if you're more on the zombie, sometimes they let you have. So I don't know. I think if it's co-op, I'm all down because I'm sure I'll be forced to play it one way or another, whether it first comes out or when it first goes on sale. So it looks fine
Goes
to
on
me.
sale.
It looked fine to me overall, but like I said, there's a lot in this category that's coming out over the next 2 years, so we'll see where this lands in the mix of all the others, but I'm not mad at it. All right,
Okay.
so another game that kind of tickled my fancy was the first look reveal of Lords of the Fallen 2. Like I said, I watched this live, and so I sent my cousin, I don't know if it was this one, but I sent him some. I was like, this looks very Soulsy, very, very, very Soulsy, and he was like, yeah. But apparently he has the first one, so he kind of already is familiar with this title. I look, it took me a long time to even notice the two in the background. So, but no, this looked really, really good. The stuff they did show off looked great, but like my cousin said, it's a trailer. It wasn't actual gameplay shown. And then again, the only thing that makes this a little bit more eyebrow raised is the fact that it's coming out 2026. It does have a year. It doesn't have a date yet, but we know this is coming in a near future.
Yeah, I do like Lords of the Fallen. I play Souls S games. One quick correction: that was gameplay that they showed. That was legit gameplay.
What? Was it mixed?
Yeah,
Because some of it looked.
that's game. So
Wait,
the
the whole thing
initial
was
one they
gameplay?
showed at the Game Awards. I can't remember if that was a mixture of. I know another trailer came up before I watched the full show, and it said gameplay trailer. It was on the PlayStation's YouTube channel, so that was gameplay. It is how the game looks. Even the first one does look like that. It looks gorgeous. Now my
Look,
thing with
chef's
them
kiss.
is, yeah, my issue with them is, have they really fixed some of the hiccups with the game, with the series?
What were some of the
Because
hiccups?
the issue the first one had was it's a dual layer. There's the living and the world of the dead, and you can transition between them at will with this thing called a lamp. And when they
Oh,
showed the
like Lord
second
of the
one off,
Rings.
yeah, like Lord of the Rings. But in the second one, I didn't see that lamp. So I'm wondering if they found an easier and better way to do it, because in the first game, it's kind of tedious. And I know a lot of people complained about that, but that's something kind of ingrained into the game. They can't really change that. But for the second one, I'm like, okay, I don't see that. So they probably got their shit together and like, hey, we gonna nail this on the first one. But yes, I am down for that. And there will be a Let's Play series of us playing that in the future. So yeah, I give you the choice. Looking forward to it.
I think that lamp is gone because during the show, it started off with him in a very, very dark, and the only light he had was a lamp. So maybe that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. As far as the game mechanic, they may have switched it out. They may not have. I have to go back and look at it. But yes, that is a game I am interested in. So good, good job. Good job.
Yep.
I hate
And
to
like
be
I said,
redundant.
2026.
2026. I hate to be redundant. The next game that caught my attention was Stupid Never Dies, and it is a hack and slash zombie game.
What the
And
fuck? I told you, my
and I'm like,
cousin is the only reason why I play these fucking games.
and I ain't gonna lie. At first, when I saw it, I wrote it off because I thought this was like a visual novel. There was like a girl and a boy, and I'm thinking this is some weird romance story. I was like, hey, I'm about to fast forward through this shit. And then it went to gameplay. I'm like, oh, okay. And once again, not a Souls-esque game. So I was very, very happy to see that. It was something on its own.
Are you on an anti-Souls campaign or something? Because you keep saying that, but you play Souls games.
So, quick
Yeah, come
sidebar.
on. This is a
Viewers.
safe place. It's okay. Let us know.
Yeah, I do enjoy Souls games, and they are done right and done for the purpose of really giving, maybe challenging the design scope, adding something new, put your own stamp onto it. But in the years, you've had a lot of people who are just making Souls-esque games just to make them because that genre of gaming is popular right now. You know, we'll talk about other games later on. I don't want to mention them because we're talking about them on the list. But you have Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, you have Wukong. Even the Jedi Survivor games are somewhat Souls-esque, and I'm pretty sure they designed it like that because, hey, you know, people like these games. I'm not shitting on no one's creativity or anything like that, but it's the same thing with these fucking roguelikes. That genre is popular from the few games that did it to a certain way. People enjoyed it. Now everyone tries to throw throw some type of rogue-like thing into it. And I'm just like, and when you bear a trend out, it gets old. The point of Souls-esque game, it's not about the difficulty. It's really not. And Miyazaki has went on interviews saying that it ain't about making the game hard to piss the player off. It's about overcoming the challenge. It's about learning from your mistakes. Oh, you got unalive? Okay, well, you know what you did? You didn't roll or block when you were supposed to. And it's a choice that those games give you. And not everyone catches that. You just make a hard-ass game, just make a hard-ass game. And the first Lords of the Fallen, they learned that the hard way. I'm sorry, not the first one. I gotta explain to my cousin. So there's 2 Lords of the Fallen games before Lords of the Fallen 2 came out. There was one that came out in 2014, which, if I remember correctly, it is the first Souls. They're the first Souls-esque game to be made besides From Software before everyone else started doing them. And it did okay. It came out in 2014 when the new system was out, so people had something to play. Then they made the Lords of the Fallen that came out in 2023, and everybody was like, yo, why did you call it the same damn thing? You'll confuse people. And at first the first game was Lords of the Fallen. The second one was The Lords of the Fallen. Then they just dropped the and just went back to calling it that. But anywho, when that game came out in 23, they believed the same notion that everyone else does. Oh, just make it hard. People like that. The community gave them a huge backlash. Like, yo, you have this almost unplayable. The mob density is like 7 dudes rushing you. And the way the Souls-esque games are played, it's like, how can you have a legit chance to win when you're stacking the odds against the player? So much so that they had to turn and tune that back to make it what it is now, why it's so popular. So that's why I'm saying, it ain't a Souls-esque game, because almost everyone just tries to make that just to cash in on this trend right now. Sidebar ending.
Okay.
What's your next game?
Okay, so my final 2 for the night, and these are games that kind of look good, but I don't know realistically if I'm going to go out my way to get them. It just looked good, and it kind of, tickled my fancy. And the first one out of the 2 is Ace Combat 8 Wings of the Thieves. Into flying games, but this one, I don't know. It looks good, and it's coming out in 2026, so it's not that long away. And Phantom Blade Zero. Now, this is supposed to come out September 9th, 2026. Now, both of these are very, very near in the future and could be in your digital library very, very soon. And so, I don't know, the trailers for both of these, but trailers are meant to entice you and all that. So sometimes I gotta be like, all right, did I really like what I saw, or was I enticed by the marketing? But these are the last 2 that I felt like raised my eyebrow. And I was like, okay. Listen, it's a possible. Like how you play spades, you got 3 in a possible. These are my possibles.
So you said Phantom Blade, and what was the other one?
Ace Combat 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that Phantom Blade, I did enjoy seeing that. I don't know why its release is so damn far away, because they have shown that many times before, and I was like, yo, why?
I didn't know that.
Why? Yeah, this is not the first time that game has been shown off. This has been shown, I think, earlier this year, if I remember correctly. And I was like, yo, why so far away? Why so far away? That's another example of a Souls-esque game, but they are taking their own approach to it, and they're like, hey, you have difficulty settings. It will not just be, hey, you need to phrase in the Soul community of get good. If the game's a little bit too hard for you, or you're struggling and whatnot, hey, you can turn the difficulty down, you can adjust settings, and have fun accordingly how you want to. Mm-hmm. So, kudos to them. The Ace Combat. I ain't big on flying games. I'm not. But I ain't gonna lie, yo, that game looked good. I was like, good. Man, that looked good. And I was like, man, this looked just as good, if not better, than Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I'm not a judge, because, like I said, I don't play flying. I don't play flight games, so I don't know. Those are your last 2. Nothing else?
Yeah, that was it. I'm very selective. I don't get moved very easily.
Well, my next one after that was Exodus. This was a third-person sci-fi shooter that kind of looked reminiscent of Mass Effect. If Mass Effect would have kept going.
Yeah. Now that you say that, that should have been on my list too.
Yeah, if Mass Effect would have kept going and, not saundered itself. So I was looking forward to that. And I was like, hey, this looks good. And then, of course, it has one of my favorite actors, Matthew McConaughey, in it. What is he doing? I have no idea. But, hey, he's in it. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. There was that.
Does it
Uh,
have any release information or no?
I don't recall. All I know, I recall looking at it and it had gameplay. That's what caught me. It had gameplay, and I was like, I had to double check on it. What was the next one?
You know, you haven't said a game that I thought you would have been said.
Which was what?
It says Exodus is launching early 2027.
Like, what the fuck is the point in showing that then, man?
I mean, that's near. That's near in the future. Look, because
Man,
it ain't got a release date. Probably it's 28, 30 or 30.
I guess. I ain't gonna lie, you might feel some type of way about this, but hey, I enjoyed the anime. I enjoyed the manga, so I'm looking forward to the game. And that was Seven Deadly Sins Origin. It was a co-op open world RPG, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sold.
Look
I'm
how
sold.
easily
I
he's
want it.
moved.
I really am." I was like,
Doesn't take
"Okay,
much,
I'll try it
people.
out." I want to play. The next one was Control Resonant.
Oh, there's the game I
And
thought you would have been said.
yeah. Well, I had them in the order as they were
Oh,
announced to the
okay.
thing. Control Resonant was another one that got me super amped, and I must say this caught me off guard because it is nothing like the first one. First one was third person action shooting with little powers and one of this. This full on third person action adventure / hack and slash. I was like, okay, Remedy, doing it, changing the formula up. Hopefully this has a better reception, but I'm assuming it will because Control did sell. Control had success. I think it was only Alan Wake 2 they had a little bit of a sales issue with before they finally broke even on that. And Remedy is somewhat in the same boat as, I can't remember the dev's name, the people that made Exodus 33. They are not spending a lot of money making these games. I believe Control 1 was made it was between 30 million and 50 million to make that game. And that came out in 2019. Budgets were ballooning and getting bigger. So, hey, they keeping it in line. That means it's less copies for them to have to sell in order to break even and start making profits. So shout out to them. You already said the Ace Combat, the Lords of Fallen 2. This was a little on the nose, but it was an indie game. And I was like, you know what? I dig this. It was Tank Rat. It was a game you could build your tank and you fight the
I did
little
see that.
monsters, whatever the hell that was. And I was like, okay, this could be another little. No, I'm not trying to say this would be another X-Men 33. It could be another indie hit that takes off, that catches people off guard. I saw that was interesting. Soul Frame. Now, they didn't show a lot of this. It has soul in the name, and I was really fucking skeptical, but it doesn't look like it's what I thought it was, which is a Souls game. It seems like a high fantasy RPG, but they didn't show a lot. And from everything I can look up, it's only on Steam, and I think it's in a beta or something right now. So I'll come back to that as more information comes out. For Loop. This was a 4-player third-person shooter. That's caught my attention because, like, hey, said, Infamous loves third-person shooting, but I was skeptical because they did show gameplay, but it looked kind of live servicey, kind of online-esque. It kind of it was giving me feelings of The Division, and I was like, I don't know, because the Division didn't need to be online only, and I stand on that. It did not need to be. What was the other one? The Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Hey, you can say whatever the hell you want about Lego games, but that looked good. That looks like a very good ass Lego game. I am a huge fan of Batman, so looking forward to that. Real quick was Neo 3. I played the first 2. It's another Souls-like game, but this is done more closer towards the vein of From Software and not just being difficult to be difficult. And they are really deep in the Japanese lore with the yokai and some of their history is thrown into it.
That's a solo game, right?
No, Neo 1 and 2 were co-op, so I don't see why Neo 3 will be solo. The only thing I know they're changing with this one is it's supposed to be open world. The other ones were mission based. You just picked it, and then you and the person went into the level. You did whatever, and then that was it.
I love how everybody's implementing open world and everything.
Yeah. I thought we were really starting to tamper down on that, and it seems like it's revving right back up. Now this game, Gang of Dragon, it was an in-engine trailer, but I am excited for the potential because it looks like this is tied to the Like a Dragon games or the Yakuza games. It didn't say that. The way it looks, the attention to detail to the Japanese characters and the settings, that's what I got from it. I could be wrong. that caught my attention. And my cousin might make fun of me. This was shown early in the show, but I saved it for last because it's design choice. It's just so kiddie looking.
All right,
But
what is it?
Escape from Duck Cough. It was a
What
cute
the fuck?
indie little shooter. And I was like, you know what? I would play this. I can see me playing this on my Steam Deck and
I'm about
just
to say
killing some hours.
that's why he has so many games on that damn Steam Deck.
Yeah, I can see myself playing this. But then other than that, that was the rest of my list of stuff that caught my attention. And I was like, hey, look forward to seeing what they can do.
All right, so
Now you kind of disappointed me because I didn't know that Exodus was 27. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you showing this off? It's potentially 2 years away from me.
I do want to talk about a title that neither one of us listed, and I just want to see where you think the franchise is at this point, because neither one of us picked it, and it's very, very near its release date. Its release date is April 28th of 2026, so we're like 4 months out, and neither one of us talked about it, and that is the new Diablo, Lord of the Hatred. Where is Diablo at as a franchise right now?
Let me choose my words wisely because I don't feel like hearing people's mouth in the conversation. I want to say it's in the shitter because people did not like the design choices they made for the fourth one. It is online only. It's open world, and they turned it from an ARPG to an online only live service. It's very monetized heavy and whatnot, but they're trying to win people's graces back with doing these expansions. Because if I remember correctly, I think there was a cosmetic that came out and it was $40 a
Oh my
skin.
fucking god.
Yeah, a skin for a game that you have to pay for. Before you all say something, if you have Game Pass, you don't have to pay. Yes. Now that Microsoft bought Activision, you don't, and you have Game Pass, you ain't got to buy it. Yes. So before someone even says that, but a $40 skin in a full-fledged game, a full price game, yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, some people feel some type of way about current Diablo right now. They're trying to turn it around with doing these expansions. I believe they're trying to go the route of World of Warcraft, where World of Warcraft, if I remember correctly, has a new expansion like every fucking year. I don't believe it'll be every goddamn year, but they're trying to support the game like that, where every other year, I guess, it's all that they try to keep the game alive with more content, more dailies and stuff for you to do. Keep you coming back, a la live service. But it's interesting you brought that up because I did see that and I was like, man, it looked good. But I was like, hey, I'm not buying that fucking game.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because it was not on either one of us lists. And I remember at one point, I mean, the Diablo couldn't do no wrong. And then they had the whole Finasco on stage with, do you guys not have phones? And, recovering from that, and I was just curious if they're still recovering or have they recovered or where they at as a franchise. Another title I want to talk about that should have been on my list that I forgot is the new 007 trailer I had dropped, and it is launching March 27 of 2026, so that is 3 months away and very, very, very near. Yeah, I am interested just to see. It's been a long time since a 007 game. I remember 007 games on the PlayStation 1, maybe, or 2, one of them. So I'm just curious,
I
about
believe you might be thinking about the 2 because I do remember 007 games on the game too.
Okay, yeah, it might be. I just remember I was really, really young. But I'm really curious on how they're going to bring 007 into the modern gaming environment. So I'm going to be looking at the controls and how the gameplay is when this is getting closer to its release. But this is something that I am looking at purchasing possibly. I say that, but then I see I look at the final product. If it ain't up to snuff, I'm not buying it.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, good old third-person action shooting, baby.
Oh yeah. You can't go. Listen, Infamous Retreats, third person, you already got a leg up ahead of everybody else. I want to talk about this last title, and this is where I'm going to end title talk or announcement talk. And I'm just confused because this did not look like a strong enough game to be where it was. This actually closed out the show, and dude was like, yeah, this is coming out very, very near. And I'm expecting to see some like jaw-japping shit, like, oh shit. And then once it popped up, and I was like, what the fuck is High Guard? And I started seeing this shit. I'm like, this looks very much like Fortnite-ish. And then I saw them on horses. Then the horses disappeared. I was like, this ain't for me.
Nope.
This ain't for
You,
me.
you know what's funny? I forgot about that damn game, but when I was watching it, and every now and then I click on comments just to see how people feel. Someone in the comments was like, "Oh, great, it's Concord 2." No.
Oh my
His
God.
exact wording was, "He lived long enough to see Concord 2 get made," and it tickled me so hard because it's like, where in the world do you see someone playing this game? Now, when they was first showing it off, when the guy was riding, I'm like, oh, okay, this looks fantasy. I fantasy as, but I'm looking at it, the graphics. I'm like, yo, this looks multiplayer-ish to me. And then the horse riding, I was like, please don't be first person. Please don't be fourth person. Oh, he's riding. He's riding so-so. Please don't be first person. And then the transition to first person. I'm like, oh, God. Okay. And then they came out saying, oh, the people that made Apex Legends. And I just automatically, I checked out. I'm cool. I'm good.
You went limp.
I went limp. I was like, I'm cool. No mas, none for me. So
listen,
that is not on my radar. I'm not interested.
No.
They can have it. They want to keep chasing these trends and keep thinking like, oh, we can make the next one. No, you can't. You really can't. But I'm not gonna get deep into that. That's a topic for another matter.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just brought it up because it was a closer, and you usually end the show off
On a banger?
strong. Yeah, on a real strong product. I mean, this game is coming out, and that's something he said. Usually the end show is somebody that's 3 years, 4 years away. This guy, he's coming out in January 26th of 26. I was like, oh shit, nigga, that's like 2 weeks. Okay, what is it? And then it was like, oh, this is not for me. And I think as you get older as gamers, you identify immediately what's not for you, so you don't waste your time and money. And unfortunately, this is not for me, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be for my cousin either. But shout out to whoever this game is for. This game is in the near future. In a couple of weeks, it'll be in your video game library. So, shout out to you if this is for you. It's just not for us. So, but that's all I got for its announcements and titles that I myself is looking forward to, and that's pretty much the whole show.
That was it. For me, like I said, you had hit a few that were already on my list. There was one, I don't know if I said, the solo leveling Arise. That was a quick shot of it. I couldn't make out what it was, what it is, but I put on the list just to say, hey, I'm interested to see what that is. Other than that, yeah, that really is it.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, this has been long-winded, but this is the wrap-up of 2025 Game Award show. And, hey, did the 2025 Game Awards actually reward the best games? Or did they completely miss the mark this year? Let us know in the comments below how you feel. And also let us know what game are you most looking forward to that was announced but is in the not near future. It's going to be a little ways away. So let us know in the comments below.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?